I've got another Grail edition for you. You know, I built this knife and this knife company up in my head so much that it would have been so easy for this knife to disappoint me, but it still blew me away. And I get to share it with you. Stick around. What's up, Kripple Krew? EDC with DBD, disabled but deadly, and I have been lucky enough to be able to bring you some very premium knife designs as of late, and today's knife stacks up with the best of them. You've probably already guessed we're looking at a Knife Standards design model. Before we get into it, stab that like button, /subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss anything. Knife Standards Design started as a YouTube channel originally, or Knife Standards was a YouTube channel started by ATR to share his pocket knife collection and his love of knives, which he also shared with his father, RR. His father was a big pocket knife fan, and as Knife Standard, or as ATR reviewed knives, he started sketching up his own design, and, you know, he was very hesitant to do it. He showed it to his father, who gave him the courage and a little push he needed to really hone in and submit his first design. And unfortunately, his father passed after that, and every knife he's made has been dedicated to him. And that love shows through in these knives. You know, these knives have been a grail for me. The Station and the Station Express. Absolute grails to me. And when I saw this, his newest offering, I was just as much in love with it. And like I said in the intro, built it up in my head. It could have disappointed, and yet it stunned. We are going to be looking at the Knife Standards Design Model RR3. This is the Frosty Edition. And look at this beautiful, beautiful knife. What we are looking at is his smallest design yet, and really, for me, the most EDC friendly, because it's also his first titanium liner lock instead of frame lock. So what you are looking at here is an overall length of 7.4 inches, right in that perfect sweet spot, with a blade length of 3.2 inches and a beautiful drop point of Vanax Superclean at 60 to 61 HRC, exactly where you would want to see it. We have a handle length of 4.2 inches. We are looking at a blade stock thickness of 110 thousandths with a full flat grind and a beautiful satin finish, and a weight of only 4 ounces. We've got some beautiful orange peel. You'll probably get sick of me saying beautiful. Orange peel texture on this titanium that feels awesome in hand, and is also going to help it wear, because this texture is harder to damage and scratch up with normal wear and tear, so it's going to look beautiful longer. This version, the Frosty version, has the blue and white fat carbon. There is also a watermelon version with the watermelon sugar fat carbon. And then there is one with a dark matter fat carbon, I believe, and a milled clip for $10 more, or one that is all stone milled. And that one also looks amazing. This blade is running on ceramic ball bearings, and we have a ceramic pivot ball on a steel liner. We have a front flipper that just works every time. Reach around approved, no problem. And then we have dual thumb studs that are placed perfectly for the thumb or reverse flick. And this detent is so well tuned that it is fidgety AF. As you can see, it's running beautifully smooth on those bearings. We've got plenty of access to this chamfered lock bar, and it is definitely drop shut. It will drop on your thumb if you let it. We are perfectly centered. I love how we've got his father's initials in that captured pivot there, and then we have his initials on the spine of the blade. These chamfered scales provide amazing ergos. Back here in this finger groove behind the pivot, I have plenty of room for a hammer grip or a very comfortable saber grip with that milling. And I do still have room behind my pinky. I wear an extra large size glove, but the lack of a flipper tab and this flat spot here allow for fantastic choke up position. The heel of my thumb is still in that jimping, and I really feel like I would have a lot of control and strength into long cuts. We're chamfered on the front edge of this as well to provide for a very comfortable pinch or utility grip. And you can either get that tip down or you can use that belly on a flat surface. This Vanax Superclean blade is screaming sharp, and whoop, that was my fault. Should have used a fresher piece of paper. But very sharp. This Vanax at 60 to 61 is going to hold that for a good amount of time, and it's going to be dang near corrosion proof. Vanax Superclean is almost rust proof. In your daily EDC, you are very unlikely to have any corrosion issues with that or the titanium, of course. We are rocking T8 hardware. Whoop, I didn't mean to loosen that. T8 hardware. You know, looks like this was taken apart before it came to me. Let's tighten everything down a little bit. Even our pocket clip screws are T8, and you know I love to see that. All right, let's see if we got that nice and centered still. Oh yeah, still perfectly centered. And whoop, that was my fault. Still perfectly fidgety. Our lockup is at about 40%. And with the steel liner, I've got 0 lock stick. Like I said, very, very fidgety. Those ergos allow you to turn this around to cut towards you or for like a chest lever grip very comfortably. And of course, you know, we always recommend fixed blades for self-defense, but you use what you're carrying. And in this case, this butt end is designed to be comfortably capped off from either direction. So in a Beef Jerky Avenger grip, I don't feel like I'm going to slide on that titanium because of the way I'm capped. And then when I rock it around in a Beef Jerky Defender grip, I'm still capped off the same way, but now I've got that pocket clip working for me in my grip. And I really feel like I'm locked in nicely on that titanium there. So I'm not feeling like I'm going to slide. Let's give that a wipe down real quick. These inlays are done beautifully, and I love that they match on either side. And I do really like that they went with the wire clip on this, because it shows your design on whichever, or your inlay on whichever side you're carrying the pocket clip on. It is nicely deep carry, tip up as the gods intended, and you already saw that it's reversible. Plus, they do offer multiple milled clip options on the website if you want a milled clip. I mean, they even have Timascus and such. Or the standard
Spyderco wire replacement titanium pocket clip from Lynch Northwest also fits, so you can get, you know, a beautiful deep carry clip to go on that with any of Lynch's amazing finishes. This pocket clip goes in and out of the pocket, whoops, very easy. And that was you guys, if you're not aware, I have nerve damage in my hands, and that was me locking up and not being able to turn the knife and get my thumb out of the way. That wasn't the knife locking up at all. As you can see, it is plenty smooth. But it does go in and out of the pocket very well. I have carried this for several days. I'm not doing anything hard with it. This isn't my knife. This does go back to Knife Standards at the end. I believe this is his personal knife, or one of them. But these are OEM'd by Bestech. And if you're familiar, you know Bestech does some very high quality premium knives. And they have the experience with heat treatment that you need. Let's see. He's a knife reviewer, so you know he looks for this stuff. But I don't like that all misaligned. Our sharpening choil and plunge grind start and stop very well, you know, very soon. So our plunge grind starts back here and ends right about here. So all of this is sharpening life. And that's going to give you, with this Vanax Superclean, quite a bit of use out of this before you'd ever even need to think about putting in your own sharpening choil. And because this is running on internal stop pins, nothing will stop you from doing that. Our titanium is heavily milled to bring that weight down in there. The jimping for the front flipper, you know, typically I complain if we don't go all the way over the top, but this goes all the way up to the top, and I've yet to fail it because of it not going over the top. So it's done beautifully. I'll give you some size comparisons real quick. We're going to start off with a couple that most people are familiar with, even if you don't have one. Here's a Spyderco PM2, quite a bit larger. You know, that's an over 8-inch knife. How about a Dimco 8020.5? In this case, the DLT exclusive Tanto rendition. Very similar in length to the 8020.5. Give you a couple of more. How about that North Mountain Blade chop kickstop that I had early in the video? Had this out because it's almost the exact same size. One more for you. How about, the TRM Neutron 2, which is going to come in about a 1/4 inch shorter than the Station. That should give you, or the Station, that's one of his other knives. This is the RR3. These knives come in at $359, and they are built in very small batches, so you're getting very high quality control from a guy that has very neurotic knife standards. And one more time, I built this knife up in my head so much because I've wanted to handle something from this company since the Standard, the Station, every knife I've wanted. And it didn't disappoint. I do believe this is the one that would be best suited for me because of the liner lock. You know, my hands don't always work with frame locks, but I'd have to check one of theirs out to see. And I do love the EDC friendly size of this. You have a very pocket friendly profile There's it compared to the Neutron 2. Here's it compared to something like the 80-20.5. As you can see, very nice pocket presence. And this is a knife that you can pull out anywhere. This is a great gents carry, office carry, date night, black tie affair, charity dinner, or just because you want to carry an awesome friggin' knife. That's my thoughts. But I'd like to know yours. Drop a comment down below and let me know. What do you think of the Knife Standards Design RR3? I will link this knife as well as the page of in-stock knives for for Knife Standards down below. If you want to check those out, definitely hit them up. This knife is absolutely recommendable, and I can't wait to get my hands on a Station or a Station Express to check out. I hope everybody has a killer day, night, morning, evening, whatever it is, wherever you are. Stay safe, stay frosty. Most importantly, stay deadly.